Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 26 with the Colorado Rockies. My friends, we did it. We won the World Series. It took a long time. Some might say too long. Started in 2025. We made the postseason several times. And even made it to a World Series before. But we finally have achieved greatness. And I'll start to see if we can do it again with a very fascinating wrinkle. We now only have 38-man rosters. That's right, 2 players are going to have to leave this roster forever. And that creates a very interesting crunch. I'm kind of excited about it, to be honest with you. I'm kind of excited to see how this works out with all the other things we're considering. And how we're gonna solve the issue. So that's kind of fun, actually. I'm actually kind of into it. Quick shout out to Ironhead34, old friend. Welcome back. We've missed you, and he said wanted to see how the series was going. Looks like it's under control. Thank you. It is under control, and also congratulations, which I also appreciate. Mandrews. What are we going to do this episode? We're going to go through an off season, and we're going to try to improve this team. Now, I know we just won the World Series, right? So if all you knew was that a team just won the World Series, you would think, oh, they probably have no flaws. That's a filthy, rotten lie. We definitely have flaws. 100%. And that's what this episode's going to be about. This is going to be about papering over those flaws because, let's face it, this was a pretty okay team that got hot in the postseason. This is not the kind of team that you go, this team definitely is one of the best of all time. It was just a good team at the right time, which is sometimes all you need, right? Sometimes that's it. So we're going to see what we can do because we have a lot of work to do. None of my outfielders covered themselves in glory. Ken McMartin was fine. Travis Cooper was okay. Will Meyer barely played. Like, there's something in this particular sauce, but I don't know whether it's a very good sauce. Third base, I'm happy with. Second base, I'm more than happy with. Is Jonathan Hedgecock the future first base? He's not the future. I feel like we just keep spinning our wheels with this particular situation. Maybe Sean Zelaya is the next person who's going to be in this particular position here. I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is that we need to find ourselves a new A-ball hitting coach. And I have many choices here. Ben Johnson would be a pretty great choice if we can get him to stop coaching the Chicago Bears for a bit. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. If you're watching this on Monday, you mean Super Bowl's already happened. I hope that your team did well. I'm going to root for the Seahawks, even though I'm not invested in either team. But it's mostly because, A, I got sick and tired of the Patriots winning all the time, but also, B, when I was a little kid, I loved the Seahawks because I loved the color of their jerseys. I was like, that's fucking cool. So, yeah. True story. Got ourselves a pretty nice hitting coach. I'm pretty excited about that. Let us now review our player development lab. A labarino, one might say. Okay, I probably wouldn't, but maybe I will. All right, Sean Zelaya. I think you've got a very realistic chance to be a starting first baseman for me this season. You have to get better at power. So let's see if you can make that happen, Sean. Get to work on bat speed. Just like that. Melvin Martinez, got to get that control up. Alex Jaramillo, like, take your pick, right? Just about anything you can work on is going to be beneficial. You really struggled in Double-A. So I think let's get you your batting eyes set up. Something a bit easier. Something a bit more acceptable. Rich Warden might be a good player someday. possibly, but not for me. Let's get some bat speed. Jaden Hagwood, definitely control. Let's get to work on that. Any other prospects that are currently on the Major League roster? Jacquinde? I think it's movement for you. Will Meyer, he just needs to be better. I guess he could train bat speed, but more realistically, I'm having him train gap power. Actually, no. Cutting your striker would actually be super good. Work on that. Which is two-strike approach. Last but certainly not least, Brian Case, I guess, would work on control. I think the ship has already sailed, though. I think he just is what he is at this point. Jason Nish. Jason the Kanish. He'll be fine. Let's look at prospects. Work on control, Pete. Done. Alright, what's going on here? I am not offering Ruben Santa Cruz anything. I will offer... I don't think I'm going to offer any of these guys new contracts. I think I'm just going to let them walk. With the benefit being, if these guys leave, then I have more spots for other people. Xavier Perez had a chance to be a really good player and then just never worked out. Like, he's got one good season in AAA to hang his hat on, and that's it. Yeah. Not interested. Larry Ben Faisal is worthy of consideration if he could hit, which he genuinely can't. I think we'll just see what happens here. Alright. So let's start with Jose Arguello. He obviously gets an extension. Okay, that was easy. Can I get cheeky? Can I get like a 7-year deal from you? Yeah, I can, and I think we do. Let's do it. I know that Arguello hasn't been like a super megastar, but honestly, he's a fairly young pitcher with not a ton of mileage on his right arm that's been very effective. And I think the world of him, and I think locking him up for a very reasonable salary is only going to benefit us. Tony Sarmiento obviously also gets a raise. That was never in doubt. He was a huge piece to our success in the postseason. Brian Casey will always have this issue. And the question is he effective enough despite it? And I think the answer is no. I think Brian Casey's time with the Colorado Rockies has come to an end. Blake Long, very similarly, I think also his time has come to an end with the Colorado Rockies. I feel like I'm just keeping guys because they kind of have live arms. And I have enough people that have pretty good skills that I wouldn't mind giving one of them a chance. There's always a chance of finding somebody really useful. So I think we also say goodbye to Mr. Blake Long. What about Dorian Waite? How do I feel about him? I feel okay about him. Dorian Waite, unlike the other two, has produced at the major league level. He's been pretty effective despite injury. And I think keeping him is fine. I think it's an acceptable idea. Phil Harbour definitely gets a new contract. If we looked at a 5-year deal for you, yeah, this works for me. Like, the downside of Phil Harbour is a very, very competent reliever. That's his downside. And he still has more room to grow, and he could end up being a closer if the right circumstances happen. Phil Harbour is exactly the kind of guy that you want to invest in, right? Jonathan Anderson is here to be a captain and play reasonably good defense and not embarrass himself with the bat. He did all those things. He can have a new contract. He can join us again for more Rockies shenanigans. Jeff Carr is a guy coasting off of one good year. Now, there is a risk if we traded him, and the big risk is the fact that, well, he's a fan favorite. The fans love me right now, so I can probably soak this if I wanted to trade him. Do I have an obvious replacement? Do I have outfielders waiting for opportunities? Not really. Like Paul Trice, I guess, is kind of that guy. Santa is kind of that guy. I feel like Jeff Carr is a decent player. And how much is he wanting for his arbitration boost? He's wanting 6.5 million. The fact he's also fragile means I'm very strongly incentivized to trade him. This is a guy who has had, what, like 3,000 plate appearances? Sorry, 2,000. And very few of those have been excellent. This isn't about the money. This is about the fact that he isn't producing. And I have enough interesting options like Oscar Castellanos, who can do basically his job but cheaper and possibly better. There's giving guys like Paul Troitz a chance. There's moving a guy like, I don't know, Danny Teles out to the outfield. Like, I have other options here. And that's why I'm less incentivized to keep um, Jeff Carr. I will keep Ken McMartin. Ken McMartin has a very wild track record, and I don't know what to believe yet. But I still think he's got a chance to come back and be a very useful player. I think Jeff Carr, especially given his current skills, is somebody that I could probably get a kind of nice return for. And so I think it's the other reason I'm thinking of trading Jeff Carr. It's a way to get more talent into the system without giving up something I can't afford to lose. Mr. Carr, I would like a prospect package for you. My goal would be 2 greens and something else, but I will settle for a green and 2 yellows. I did say 2 greens and something else. 2 greens and nothing else is one of those things. Troy Schroyer's not bad, but he's not what we want, and the rest of the deal sucks. Palmer Martino and Hector Juarez. What's Chris Palmer's deal? You're okay. You're not super thrilling, but I can see a world in which you pitch meaningful innings just because you have a rubber arm and you've got some pretty good ratings. Andy Martino is fine, but I think his offensive upside is severely limited just because of his skill set. He's only going to hit for average and maybe hit some doubles, and that's not going to cut it for anything more than a utility guy. He'd be a very good utility guy, though. So, I mean, I'm not saying that he's a bad choice. And Hector Juarez is just acceptable. This is not a very tantalizing package. Roberto Aragon is perfectly mid in every description of the term mid, which is okay. Justin Moore's not that great. Rico Rivera doesn't have much to show. No to Trevor Henry. Josh Dobbs is okay. None of these are good trades. Maybe I look at one player and see if I can get one really good one for Jeff Carr. Jared Elliott has played in the majors. I would very strongly consider this if he had not already played in the majors and therefore broken our rules. But that's the kind of guy that I could get excited about. Rodolfo Rojas. There's some definite red flags here. Stamina's not great. Control is pretty poor. But I like what he offers. I think he's actually a reasonable pick. I'm going to keep looking for blues, and then I'll come back. Armando Ramirez has a ton of upside. I think it could be really, really good. Chimalhuacan, Mexico. But maybe we can do better. Maybe. And then here's this guy again. Look, Troy Schroyer isn't bad, but he is an infielder who can't infield. Actually would be an okay outfielder. Tell the truth, he would be an okay outfielder. So Troy Schroyer, we throw him in the outfield and we see what he can bring to the table. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Ruben Choppa's pretty okay. I feel like a dynamic hitter is exactly what I'm looking for. And he's never played in the majors. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's make it happen. I would love to try to add a little bit more to this deal if I can have it, but I'm not foolish enough to think that it's going to be easy. Jorge Moreno was probably asking way too much. Yeah. That's reasonable. Marquise Tadaldo is somebody I like a little bit more as a second baseman than my other options. But I think, again, it's going to be a hell no situation. Mitch Day is okay. I think he's definitely got a little bit of upside to him. He's nothing fantastic, but I think he's decent. Can I get Mitch Day? No. Mitch Day is way too much, apparently. Fair. Eric Freeman, I don't think I'm going to get him either. Yeah. I need to look at the other yellow guys, which I think is reasonable. Travis Colley has played in the majors and therefore doesn't do it for me. Dustin Bussey, oh no. I'm not gonna follow up on that one. I'm not gonna follow up. Danny Morita is okay. He's not great, but he's okay. He's also played the majors. Sorry, pal. Chris Bala, if you will. He's okay. I don't want to get into protracted negotiations. I want the guy that I want. And I think I just end the negotiations here. I think I got what I really wanted. I'm sorry the fans are sad about losing Jeff Carr, but I had to make the best decision that I could. And I think a world in which we use Schroyer instead is a better world. Schroyer, let's get you trained up for left field. And we're gonna do that in spring training. Oh, right. I've got to clean up the 40-man roster first, don't I? That's true. I'm going to waive Cesar Paniagua. I guess I'm just going to release guys at this point. No, I'm going to remove you. Brian Casey and Blake Long, I'm going to cut you both. To make the room on the 40-man is what I need, right? Yeah, Troy Shore looks like a pretty damn fine outfielder, so I think I'm willing to let him get some reps in spring training. Maybe take to the minors for a season if we need him to. Um, I have some really good players that are Rule 5 eligible, so if I'm not planning to keep them, I should try and plan to trade them instead. Grinder, Crespo, and Birch, I think, can all be waived. Because I want to put on Zelaya. Rich Morton I still have a lot of good feelings about, but I think he's also very far away from the majors. I think nobody else likes him as much as I do. Marco Ramirez, I think, also has something to him, but again, nobody else thinks as highly of him as I do. Mandrews is a guy. Apparently, either I'm just terrible at judging talent or something. We gotta go for Santa here, I think. I think Santa has at least earned a chance. Do I want Danny to less? I think I kinda do. I think I do want him. And then let's leave a spot open for the moment. Is Ryan Ferguson worth keeping? Not really. He's okay, I guess. Damn. People were really excited about Oscar Crespo and company. I guess OSA really likes Crespo. OSA thinks he's got more in the tank. I just don't believe him. You've always got to trust your own. You've always got to trust your people, right? And in this case, I trust my scouting director. And I think my scouting director knows what he's on about. Breaking AFL news. Great. Jonathan Keener, I would offer you $150,000. Nah, that's 1.5 million. That's too much. So I lost Grinder, Crespo, and Birch in like rapid succession. Maybe they do something about them that I don't, but it's highly unlikely. Right? Arguello took the longer term deal. Phil Harbor took one. Pretty exciting stuff. We have a lot of payroll flexibility. Oh, now we need to turn that into something meaningful. Ruben Santa Cruz, you want to raise? I'm not prepared to give it to you. I think swapping out one starting pitcher is fine. I think Hagwood is serviceable. I think I've got other people that are young and hungry, like Mandrews. We could add Pablo Cervantes potentially, Jim Fields. I have options available to me, and that's why I don't want to overcommit. I just don't. So I won't. Jonathan Keener, you fucking shithead. 250 grand. Excellent. You made the right choice, dude, my dude. You made the right choice. Assume the start of free agency. Oh, Paniagua? Fine. Once free agency hits, I'll actually see how many spots I actually have open. This is probably a reasonable episode to do some really heavy work to clean off rosters, right? That's probably a thing that we can do. My 40 minutes almost full. That's scary. That's big scary. Oh, I got a gold glove for Yasukawa and Travis Cooper. Is that Cooper? No, it's not Cooper's first gold glove. That's pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of Yasukawa slowing down at 29. I think it's going to severely harm his chance of making the Hall of Fame. Plus, the fact his batting average has never been especially great means I don't think he's our Hall of Famer. I don't think he's very likely to make the Hall of Fame right now. Now, he could find another gear. He could put together a few top tier seasons, and then maybe we have a conversation. But for right now, Yasukawa doesn't seem to be very likely to be the dude. Mark Monroe won a Silver Slugger. That's pretty exciting. That's probably all the hardware we get, truthfully, and that's fine with me. We were very much a lightning in a bottle type team, and that's why you can't get too upset if you don't get very much respect. Excuse me. Oh, we got Manager of the Year. That's pretty cool. I mean, I won the World Series, so I'm not that surprised, but I'm a little surprised. Fernando Romero's the one that was my guy, right? Yeah, how's your career been, buddy? Not great. You turn out to be a middling reliever. Well, guess I'm happy I didn't invest too heavily in him then. We got loads of money. What do we actually want? Let's start with this. What positions are we set at? Yasukawa, good, bad, or indifferent, is a very good shortstop and is somebody that I want to keep around. Mark Monroe is great. Jeff Polson also had a very good season. So the top three are pretty set. Well, first, third, and fourth are pretty set. Cooper does so many other things right that even if his bat isn't good enough, I still think we keep him, and I don't think it's a difficult decision either. Meyer's too young. David Hunt is fine. I think outfield is probably the best place we could find an improvement. I think a world in which Ken McMartin bounces back would be a happy world for me, but I think a world in which he doesn't is also fine. I just want more options, right? Okay. Enjoy for a moment the thoughts of what might be, and then realize I can't have most of these guys. All right. Jin Ho Yoon is not very good. This is what we call a trap. No. Oh, this is my Pablo Cervantes? Yeah, I don't think so, guys. I don't really think so. Ramon Villanueva, I guess I could sign him if I wanted. Oh, Cervantes wants a minor league deal. I would give him that. That's fine. That's a thing that I'm prepared to do. Zach Foman could be alright. He hasn't played the majors. I have my settings set, so yeah, you can give him a minor league deal. This is a really bad free agent class, at least for people that can't sign major leaguers. Villanueva is not very good. I don't really think there's any chance he makes the roster, but he only costs me money, and I have lots of that to spend. So I'm not going to question it. Who's got really good potential, actually? Oh, here we go. Rich Morton. Oh, yeah. I remember you. I traded for you. And then you're like, but I want to be a minor league free agent. What if I gave you $0? How does that sound? Alberto Vegas doesn't interest me. If you can't hit in the minor leagues very effectively, I question your ability to last in the major leagues. I just don't think it's very smart, especially because it wants $13 million, which is the height of absurdity. That's hilarious. I think a lot of these guys don't do anything for me. Yeah, I think this is an okay trip. It's just going to be a slow free agent field thing, and I think that's acceptable. I think that's reasonable. You would give me the Dave Rivera. He's played in the major leagues. I can't have him. Chris Nash. Okay. If I were permitted to have any player I wanted, Chris Nash would be very high up my list. But my rules are still in effect. Just because we won the World Series doesn't mean we stop doing things the right way. So I have to tell you no. I would very strongly consider this deal otherwise. I'm not guaranteeing that I would have done it. I still think Alex Jaramillo has the potential to be a top tier catcher, and those don't grow on trees. But it's a kind of offer that you go, wait a minute. Pablo Cervantes, why are you grumpy? I'll give you $4 million just to be in my minor league system and probably get claimed in the Rule 5 draft. I don't know who any of these guys are. Eric Pickett, I think, was mine. Yeah, he was. Did you do anything for me? No. I think I drafted you and then traded you before you hit the majors, which was obviously the correct take. Although none of these guys turn out to be anything useful either, so... This is the rare lose-lose trade where every part of it is bad. We're going to keep voting for Charlie Condon. I know he doesn't actually have a real chance, but we're going to keep trying it. Maybe we can drum up some support. Jackson Holiday has a nice amount of WAR. We can vote for him. Rafael Devers, sure. Because I should be looking for like the real megastars like Sebastian Walcott and making sure I have room for them on my roster. Mason Wynn, Bobby Witt Jr. Juan Soto. This is fine. Yeah, I don't feel the need to change this ballot very much. I could instantly free something. I could have voted for Bryant Milam. He's not going to make it to a second ballot. There's just no way. It'd be cool if he did, but it's not going to happen. Charlie Condon has a small chance. It's just not a very good chance. I don't even think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. If I'm being realistic with you. But it'd be funny if he did. Sam Richburg has played in the major leagues. I do not thank you, and I will not come again. We got Rich Morton. Amazing. I could have just had him by just keeping him on the 40-man, but I wanted to give myself options in the Rule 5, so I didn't do it. Let's go to the Rule 5 now, actually. I like Mike Carrick. He is a major leaguer. I cannot accept this trade. I see what people are doing now. They're trying to get me to weaponize my salary room, which I don't hate at all, by the way. If I hadn't set my own conditions for this one, I would totally take these offers. Because, well, I think it's reasonable to expect a certain level of improvement. I think there's also a very good chance that we could go backwards. I just don't really see that that there's any kind of guarantee here. Vic Santiago would be an amazing player. And I can't do it, guys. I am unable to do it. Yeah, it's just like, what the fuck, man? We're giving you the best players in baseball. We're asking for your prospects. Why aren't you doing it? Zelaya's doing okay. Yakinde's doing okay. Pete Wellborn is doing okay. That's fun. That's reasonably entertaining. Has anybody signed Ruben Santa Cruz, or is he still thinking about it? If I were to ask him how much money he wants, what would he answer, do you think? Santa Cruz. Oh, right, there's a space between Santa and Cruz, isn't there? Sorry. Even 5.5 million seems like a bit of a ripoff, but it's a significant savings. If you give me 150 innings, I'm going to throw $1 million your way. I think Santa Cruz is a perfectly acceptable pitcher. I just wasn't prepared to pay a lot of money to keep him. Now that he's wanting a third of the salary, I'm willing to take him back and let him get some more work in. Is there anything here that pleases me? Alberto Macias pleases me a great deal. OSA, even OSA likes him. I mean, he's not going to make it to me, right? Like, someone else is going to take him in the Rule 5. He is. Give him to me. Right now. How, in the name of everything that is even slightly holy, would you ever let this man get away? There must have something about him that we don't. That's the only explanation, because this is an incredible find. There's some other decent ones too, like Francisco Montoya is worth our attention. If I needed an infielder, which right now I don't. Maybe that's it. Maybe I just say goodbye. Keigo Tani is interesting. I could use a better I could use a better catcher right now. Is he better than David Hunt or Gabriel Avila? Not really. Okay, that answered that question. I don't hate Montoya. I think a problem with Montoya is he purports to be a good second baseman shortstop, but he can't turn a double play. It's very sus. Highly dubious. Steve Sierkowski's okay. Steve-O, as he likes to be called. I can't pick him because my 40-man is full, right? Yeah. No, I can take one more player. But I need to save room for Santa Cruz, right? So I think this happens. I think we just end the Rule 5 at this point. Guys, I don't know how we ended up on my team either, but it's happened, and I'm so excited about it. Look, he's not a finished product, but this is somebody who, bare minimum, is going to be a spectacular reliever. And he is so incredibly good that I'm just... I could literally just claim him. Why would I accept him in trade? Especially when I don't want him at all. There's just no value in him. No, right, look, they may know something about him. Maybe, like, his arm, like, instantly disintegrates the moment he puts on the uniform for the first time. Understandable, really. Sebastian Walcott sails into the Hall of Fame. As such, Brian Milam got 0 votes. He's probably like, but I thought we were bros. This one actually shocks me that Fernando Tatis Jr. couldn't even get on to a second ballot. Tovar is gone. Condon is still barely alive. Drew Romo still barely alive. Yeah. It's not looking good, it's not looking good, friends. It's not looking good. I think literally nobody but the Rockies have offered Santa Cruz a deal. So yeah, he takes it. I know I have a lot of money. I just don't know what to do with it yet, okay? Game. You know the rules, and so do I. I'm no stranger to loving my scouting director. There you go. Yeah, I think Macias has a very realistic chance to get meaningful innings this season, but this is a very young rotation. Other than Levy and Santa Cruz. We've got people that are mostly in their prime, so I'm pretty excited about that. I think Arguello's future might become a reliever. We have him for the next several seasons, so we can figure it out one way or the other. But that doesn't make him not a useful player, just because he happens to be a reliever. No judgment here. Trade proposal, you'll give me Jim Rendy. Played in the majors. My fans are probably like losing their shit. Like, you just won the World Series. Why are you not spending your money? And then someone has to tell them the owner is delusional. He says he's not allowed to hire major leaguers because they can't be trusted. And then they're like, what the shit? What the shit indeed. So my problem here is I can't offer the cap. That means if somebody wants one of these guys, they can take them and I can't stop them. Vitaly Morisco is pretty great. I'm just going to offer him, and if we get him, great. I'm not going to look at anybody else. I'm going to hope that he's like, fuck yeah, the Rockies want me. Let's go. Look what they did with Yasukawa. They're going to do the same thing for me. That's what he's hoping. That's his brain right now. I think it happened already, so that's pretty exciting. I do remember that about Jonathan India, and then he just, like, almost completely vanished. Which is a bit sad. It's a bit of a bummer. Nick Arnson just made 4-point-something million. We got Mariska, which doesn't surprise me very much. Sarmiento throwing harder is just icing on the cake, right? Like, he's already was a pretty damn good pitcher. Really damn good. We don't have a traditional ace right now, but that's okay because we just don't know yet. Alberto Macias has just lost a shit ton of his potential because he lost velocity for some reason. This doesn't make sense that his value would tank so drastically just because his velocity is slightly lower. But okay, I guess that's a thing that we have to deal with. Mandrews, you get a shot to show that you can handle the majors. Mike Mullet, we won't be bothering with. Wow, there's some really bad pitching in Double-A. This is probably like Terry Brackett we could potentially give an audition to. I don't think he's really all that special, though. Yeah, all the players that I would give a spring training audition to are the ones that are already on the roster. So let's run 6-man rotation here. I think this is correct. Wait, Will Levy? Interesting. And also not happening. You know, for spring training, I don't mind Will Levy maybe getting a bit of a break. There was a time I thought Will Levy was going to be our Hall of Famer. He's definitely had good years, but this is not the kind of record that's going to guarantee him induction into the Hall of Fame, especially because I think his career is rapidly reaching its appointed conclusion. Alberto Macias is already 26. I don't feel they need to give him a pitch count. Yakinde I will give a pitch count to, though. Linoops, let's do the thing. Okay, I want Shore to actually start just because I want him to get some reps in spring training and learn how to play left field. So we're going to do that. And then where's Schroyer here? We're just not going to play Schroyer at all. That's bananas. He's even better. Schroyer. There we go. I'm really not going to put Jake Miller in as the DH if I can avoid it. I think for all of his skills, I think there's just better choices available to me. But Gabriel Avila. How about Sean Zelaya? Mod, huh? I don't want AJ Dubé's rated at 52. I guess he's not terrible. Like, he's got the potential to obviously be a genuine leadoff type, but right now he's not doing it. He's not accomplishing that goal. Maybe spring training will be good for him. Who knows? Nick Aronson lost a bunch of weight. He's no longer a fatty, fat face. That's good. That's reasonable, right? Melvin Martinez has improved his control. Jaden Hagwood has improved his control by a little bit. Jaquinde's movement just went through the stratosphere. What? That's so good. And you improve your control by a little bit. Okay, if that's true, then he automatically becomes like person one in this rotation. I don't. You could even improve that much. That's banana. That's banana. Jaden Hagwood. I keep wanting to call him Dagwood. It's like, no, that's the comic book character. Not a particularly beloved one. Wait a minute. You said his movement improved by 20. It did not improve by 20. I feel heckin' bamboozled. Paul Heyer got a lot better. Jubei's a little better. Lots of people are a little bit better. Haramio keeps improving, which is pretty exciting. Victor Medina got better. Okay. All right. I want to wait to set the minor leagues until I know who's actually going to be in the minor leagues. So we're going to wait until after spring training is over with, and then we'll get the minor league system configured. We might be real bad, you guys. I want you all to be aware of that. This could be a very bad season. Losing Jonathan Anderson actually is good for Danny Teles and no one else. Because basically it means Danny Teles gets to start the season on the Major League roster because I need a backup infielder. Which, bully for him, I suppose. But, alright. I have 18 pitchers. 5 gotta go. John Castro definitely goes to the minors. Has Castro pitched in... Where'd he go? Where the fuck did John Castro go? Did he vanish? No, he's right there. Okay. John Castro, you're definitely a starting pitcher. 100%. He has pitched it a bit in AAA. He actually pitched quite well for AAA, so he's kind of the first man out of the out of the minors, if you ask me. Mandrews returns for one night only, I guess. Maybe. Trusty Grunt, I'm going to go ahead and cut you. Like, if you've made it up to AAA and you're that skilled or that lacking in skill, then you don't deserve to be in the majors anymore. Mandrews and Castro, bros again, maybe forever. Pete Wellborn can pitch in AAA. I think that's reasonable. What does this get me down to, by the way? 15. I got 2 more pitchers I got to deal with. Hagwood can go to the minors. I feel pretty confident. If I could demote Macias, I would, but I want to keep Macias. How much did Jason Ish pitch in the majors last season? Barely any. AAA is very possible for you. Dylan Patrick Baxter, kind of a shitty year. Maybe it's Baxter that gets to go to the minors for now. Yeah, that feels good. All right. Rotation is going to be Macias as the last man out. Emergency starter, long relief. So the question here is, do I let David Bennett start over Will Levy? I think that answer is a very solid maybe. Will Levy does have years of experience of being an above-average starting pitcher. He's making too much money to ride the bench, in my opinion. So I think I will put Levy in over somebody, and I think that somebody's going to be Bennett. It could also be Santa Cruz, quite honestly. I think turning him into a reliever could be quite valuable. Let's do it, right? If we make him into a reliever, does he look any better? He looks worse. That's not terribly thrilling. Then we're going to do Levy for Santa Cruz, and then, no, you are not a follower. Maybe I do just make you into a reliever. Fuck it. It's what the people want. They want him to be a reliever, and he's comically overpaid, but I think that's fine. And then Santa Cruz is the fifth starter. That's also fine. Dave Crawford is the closer forever. I think you guys should know that. Man, fucking David Crawford could win 300 games as a reliever somehow. You would still disrespect him and say he can't be the closer. Like, come on, guys. He's done nothing but pitch exceptionally well. I don't know what else the guy has to do to convince you that he is a worthy chap, but he is the worthiest of chaps. Alright, 7 more position players gotta go. I'm not carrying 3 first basemen. That's ridiculous. I think Sean Zelaya returns to AAA to start the season. I think that's one thing that happens. Troy Schwarber, as I predicted, picked up the outfield pretty well, so that's good news for him. Arguelles, I'm going to waive. I guess Arguelles could just play the outfield. I guess that's fine. Maybe I should look for other people first. David Sorensen barely played well at AA. I think letting him repeat the level is fine. I feel like keeping Hedgecock just because he's out of options when he just went through an entire major season to show that he doesn't have a lot to offer is the height of silliness, and so I'm not going to do that. It's either Dubé or it's Zelaya, but it's not Hedgecock. Hedgecock had his chance, and he didn't do it. If he gets claimed, he gets claimed. So be it. So be it. Santa, you get to play in AAA this year. That's your job. You're going to play in AAA. Javier Calderon was kind of alright. I think Will Meyer gets to say just because he's young. I've still got to go to 3 guys, people. I can't keep everybody. Troy, because you're learning a new position, I want you to play in the minors. I think that's appropriate. So that's what's going to happen here. You're going to go to the minors, and you're going to work on your shit. I think Troyce goes to the minors and he works on his shit. This means AJ Dubé starting at first base again. I mean, he didn't really get that long an audition, so I guess we can let him do it. Maybe. Conceivably. Who's my DH right now? It's probably actually Jake Miller, by virtue of no one else can do the job. Ken McMartin gets to start in the outfield again. I feel like Castellanos is the odd man out. I just think he's not that great a player, to be honest with you. So I think we rock with this. Let's reconfigure the minor leagues while I'm thinking about it, okay? I can't see the stats from last year. Boo hiss. Boo. Ardea goes to AAA for sure. Jalen Ramsey goes to AAA. Dusty Lee goes to AAA. Scott Avalos to AAA. Andy Knox to AAA. Brian Taylor to AAA. I want to get a second catcher. Hey everyone, he's back. It's Andrew Major. Back in the majors. Or back in AAA, rather. Heyman had an incredible year. I think he can be promoted. Melvin Martinez still needs a lot of runway to get to where he needs to be, so I think letting him cook a little bit longer is fine. Terry Brackett can be promoted. Mike Lopez. Mike Radigan had an okay season. He can get a promotion. Jose Sanchez had an okay year. He can be promoted. Kevin Bressler definitely gets to go to AA this year. Jose thinks he's the greatest pitcher ever. I just think he's very, very good. Either way, he's in AA now. Let's get some hitters up. John Gargone is fine for a promotion. Loader, I barely know where he can be promoted. Oh, he never even played an A-ball yet. That's fine. He can play AA. I believe at him. Donald Basham, I don't really need another pitcher. Actually, I guess I do. I could use one more. Okay. How do you have any hitters that need jobs? Did Armando Alvarez do well last year? Armando Alvarez did fine. Ah, yes. Armando Harry the Horse Alvarez. Incredible. Welcome to AA. Kaneo Oishi, I think, can be promoted. I think Bruce Connors can have a promotion. And I think Danny Garcia, maybe. No, Ryan Johnson. No. Rafael Diaz is fine. He's fine. A-ball needs to move one person to high A. Let's make it Paul Jenkins. Let's make it Paul Leroy Jenkins. I think is good. Did Ross Pike play? Ross Pike did not play at all. Noted. Pat Fletcher did not play at all. Noted. Joey the Mormon has had 2 consecutive seasons in rookie ball. I think it's A-ball for him. He can go to high A. Brett Fales has been in rookie ball for 3 seasons. I think he can be promoted to high A. You want Tomaichi Kuriyama promoted? Okay. Travis Schreiber. I think letting the 19-year-old repeat is fine. Steve Stoffel has not played yet, professional baseball. Paul Lowe has not played professional baseball yet. Jamie Wenzel has not played professional baseball. Okay, fine. Victor Magana's had 2 seasons. He dominated last year. Let's promote him to high A. I have 3 catchers in high A. Is that too many catchers? Maybe. Also 3 catchers and A-ball, so I guess maybe I just don't complain. And just to fill out the roster, is there anybody here who has like Aaron Winters can be sent to high A, I guess. Next thing I want to do, rookie ball has way too many people in it. I would love to cut some people if they are poopy. So I want to look at the default view. Cancel. Guys, it fucking happened again. No, it didn't. Okay, we're in the clear. Okay. Let me go to. I guess we can save this view as the acquisition view. Why not? Sure. Let me switch to the Arizona Complex League and let's look at our team. All right, potential. Sort by negative potential. All you guys get to go. You all get to depart. Never to be heard from again. There's something I should be doing a lot more frequently. Hey, look, Justin Fisher was a 4th round pick who has turned out to be utter garbage. Justin Fisher is safe. What about Frank Medina? Does Frank Medina still look kind of good? He looks alright. I guess there's still a chance they could come back. Everyone else can be released. That'll free up a great deal of room so that now people in A-ball or rookie ball actually get to play. I'm just going to grab some randos here and swap them over. International, any 18-year-olds? There's a few. Also, make sure there's room for other youngsters. Also, I'm super hyped about Jordan Yeager being available. That's pretty hype. I'm gonna send you to the U.S. League. I want you to get some experience facing, other people. And then we're just gonna slide people over like this. Mitsuru Okayama, obviously. Jorge Romero. Oh, I cannot promote you. Okay. Almanzar, Damian, perfect. We have some really good players in this minor league system. They're all just a ways away, is the issue we're running into here. I'm actually very excited to see what Troy Schroyer can do now that he's been liberated from the need to play infield defense, which he was never very good at. I'm kind of into it. Let's set the team up in the best possible way to be successful. All right. Mark Monroe is very clearly the number 3 hitter. This is a very obvious choice. I still think it's Yasukawa and Dubé at the top of the lineup. I think their relative skill sets mean that one or both of them will get on base most of the time. Which will open things up for Monroe beautifully. Now I need a cleanup hitter. And I just trust Shep Polson more. I just trust him more than I trust Jake Miller. I think Jake Miller could very well be a quality outfielder, and he's going to get his chances this season, I believe. But I just trust Polson more. Polson has given me 2 consecutive seasons of 3-WAR play. That's the kind of guy that gets to keep his job in my book. That's all my infielders, hilariously. Travis Cooper is gonna bat probably 8th or 9th, and David Hunt is gonna bat. Do we play Avila over Hunt, actually? What's the game plan here? Avila has way more power, unsurprising, but also strikes out more. David Hunt is a sacrifice bunt genius. Defensively, Avila's way better at blocking the plate, but David Hunt is much better. I'm much better for him. He's the better catcher. So I think that means we keep Hunt in as the catcher, but we maybe let Avila have a fair bit of playing time, perhaps. So I like Cooper more than Hunt, so Hunt's going to bat ninth. I think that's fine. I think Cooper has a chance to rebound a bit and have a better season. All right, left, right, and DH. Who's playing these various roles here? How did you stay on the roster? Oh, because you can play right field. That's fair. That's fair. Danny Talas also made the roster. That's good for him, I guess. There's no way it can't be McMartin, right? Like, McMartin has to be given the playing time that he has earned. Because he's been either above average or fantastic, and I think McMartin gets to keep his job for that. Yeah. So who plays left? And who DHs? These are the real questions. I think Jake Miller, for better or worse, is going to DH. Or play left field. Actually, Will Myers a fantastic left fielder, so yeah. Does not because you suck Jake Miller, but because Will Meyer is very, very good at left field. Let's get a depth chart set up here. I think every 3 games is too often for Avila, but I think every 5 games is probably fine. All right. And then I think we do what we did last year, and we just platoon Meyer and Calderon. It could be also Meyer and Arguelles, I suppose. That's a thing we could do. I think Calderon is quite a bit better against left-handed pitching. Actually, maybe it's not that big a difference. Maybe Meyer gets a chance. Maybe he just gets a chance to start out every day, and then Calderon is just going to come in off the bench when we need him. I think that's probably fair. Is Charles Cooper overpaid? Kinda. Like, the fact is he's worth 3 wins, even if his bat is utter garbage, is really good. Like, that's actually very, very positive. It means he's going to have staying power. And that's something that we can always agree is a good thing. But yeah. Your opening day Rockies look a hell of a lot like last year's Rockies, right? Like, other than Will Myers starting in left field, this is basically last year's team. And Jake Miller starting in the majors. But this is the World Championship offense, guys. You don't fuck with that. Pitching staff has had quite an overhaul. David Bennett's getting a chance to start. Yaquin Day is getting a chance to start every day. Last season he did. Actually, he did start every day last season. Never mind. Santa Cruz is back for one more run, maybe. Will Levy's in the bullpen now, which is going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. And look, there's no way Will Levy comes back on this contract. There's no way the good old Dirty Craig is going to get a chance to do that. He's a fantastic pitcher, but no, it's not going to happen. He did win a Cy Young Award, which is pretty cool. But yeah. So what has to go right for the season to be really special? 3 of Miller, McMartin, and Dubé have to be above average. 2 of McMartin, Miller, and Dubé have to be above average. Meyer has to show growth, and we have to get good contributions from everyone else. Meyer doesn't have to be great. Meyer just has to be good. Meyer has to give us some stability in the outfield with somebody who can play the position well, steal bases when needed, and generally put the ball in play. That's what is required of Will Meyer. Do we have an outstanding team? No. We're relying on players having fantastic seasons more than we are having fantastic players. And that's fine. Like you can't invest $100 billion into every roster and expect them all to work out, because they won't. My far bigger concern is I don't think we have as many people that are ready to take over if injuries happen or people just don't work out. I think Sean Zelaya could still be very, very good. I think there's still a lot he can show us. I think Troy Schroyer's got a real chance to be a decent outfielder if we needed one. And there's always Santa, and Paul Trice has some upside as well. Your nickname is no longer Brown. That's stupid. You're stupid. It was obviously always Santa. Unless, maybe Santa doesn't want people to know that he's playing baseball. I'm onto you, Santa. I'm onto you. But we have a ton of top-tier talent. It's just not near the majors. A lot of it's in Double-A. Is David Sorensen ever going to pan out? Probably not. Like, it's not going to take much for him to be better than Jake Miller, I suppose. Like, I guess that's the thing. But he's already 25 years old. He's kind of struggling. Mondo Alvarez is kind of tasty. I kind of like him a bit. Jonathan Hedgecock might still have a role to play if we're all said and done. It's true, you know. Yeah. Ramon Villanueva. Agreed. But when I thought Mike Mullet was going to be something special, and he just wasn't. Bad times. I mean, for a second round pick, he should have definitely had a better thing than good old nicknames here, but I guess I accept it. I guess he had an okay major league career. Better than a lot of folks, that's for sure. Pete Wellborn, I really need this to be the year you figure out control, because you are on the cusp of being a truly exceptional, top-tier dominant pitcher. It is borderline illegal that you throw a sidearm slider. Like, that's wow. That's crazy talk. We got some OT pitching options. Carlos Ardea here is not even close to the majors. To let his overall fool you, he's very bad at throwing baseballs. If not for his very good season with Double-A, actually he had a bad season with Double-A. Anyone have a better season with Double-A? What about Vandervelde? You know what, Vandervelde, you son of a bitch, you're in. Welcome to AAA, my dude. Real talk, Pablo Cervantes is probably next man up in the rotation. I don't know whether that makes me happy or scares me. But we'll see. We'll see. Will Levy, if you would take a gigantic pay cut, I would keep you. That is a pretty gigantic pay cut. I'll think about it. Let's see how your transition to reliever turns out. If I turn you into reliever, what does that look like? You're about the same, basically. Duly noted. I think a Will Levy that has a good season coming out of the bullpen is a Will Levy that we could maybe give an extension to. Potentially. You're not going to be the opener. I don't believe in openers. I think they're silly. Dave Crawford opener. Come on, guys. When a guy produces, you just leave him the fuck alone and let him do his job. That's the rules. I get he's basically a one-pitch pitcher, but the second pitch it's kind of meh. But it's worked for him. Like, up to this point, he's been a phenomenal pitcher. So, don't cramp my shit. We got Phil Harbor until 2046. I think the fact we've got so many pitchers at very reasonable deals is going to let me go harder if a player really deserves it. We're still paying Jim Sellers for 3 more years. He was almost replacement level last year. That's how bad he was. What a dumb decision I made with him. What a truly phenomenally stupid decision I made with him. How are we rated? Oh, I should sim to opening day, shouldn't I? What just fucking happened here? What the hell? It just got rid of, like... Okay, I need to save this game and reload it, because it is going bananas. It just basically says spring training happens twice. Oh, I know what it is. Because I'm on the fucking minor league thing. That's all it is. Oh my god. Hey, look, it's fixed. I bet you're probably all laughing in my face, and rightfully so. You're like, Abby, you're so silly. And I would be like, yeah, I am. I guess I am. I have a pretty good minor league system, I think. Number one, we have so much raw talent in the system, you guys. We just need to turn it into actual useful players. That's always been the rub, right? Does anyone here need a 40-man invite or 37-man invite? I'm never going to call it the 37-man roster. No matter if you force me or not. I'm still pretty excited about Macias, though. We have a team with a lot of leadership, and that's always good to see. We have way too many captains, arguably. Calderon being selfish makes me slightly inclined to get rid of him under the right circumstances. Maybe. I don't know. What I do know, my friends, is that I thank you very much for watching, as always. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please remember to like the video, give us a comment, subscribe. Yeah. Can we repeat the World Series? Fuck if I know. It's possible. It's always possible. But until then, thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.